Harvick wins. 2 cars are taken to the R and D Center, and Texas might be getting a reconfiguration. Let's talk about it. Coming up next. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing good. As you can hear, I've got a little bit of a cold. Fighting through it, though. So Kevin Harvick goes from 3 weeks ago being out of the playoffs and people calling him washed up to last week, 2 weeks ago, winning a race and being the playoff disruptor to now winning 2 races in a row and being considered by some to be the playoff favorite. So that is how fast things can change in NASCAR. Ford went from looking like it was the 3rd manufacturer. Now it has 2 wins in a row. To couple that with Joey Logano's 2 wins and Chase Briscoe's win, Ford has now gotten back into the game itself after that little pep talk. But the race itself was mainly a strategy race, and aside from a few incidents, it was pretty straightforward. The first incident I want to talk about that got everybody's attention was Ty Gibbs battling with Kyle Busch. They both made contact with each other, and a lot of people want to extrapolate a lot of information for that. But really, at the end of the day, I think it was just 2 guys. I think Ty Gibbs was sort of playing around. I don't think Kyle Busch was playing around, but it is what it is. That's sort of how Kyle Busch's season has gone. He eventually passed him, and Ty Gibbs eventually had a mechanical failure and had to retire. The other incident, of course, being Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain gave some room to the 42, and Kyle Busch came down. Really, it was a racing incident, but the people that don't like Ross Chastain were like, there he goes again. He's wrecking him again. So it is what it is, but really at the end of the day, Kyle Busch's spotter didn't tell him they were 3 wide, and Kyle Busch came down, in my view. But feel free to argue it down below. That's fine. All opinions are welcome. And, of course, the final incident was Denny Hamlin on one of the restarts, sank it in there really, really deep, trying to mess with Ross Chastain, whereas if he had, Ross Chastain is just living rent-free in the guy's head. Just pay him back, be done with it, and move on, because the more you do stuff like this, the more you're going to put yourself in situations like that, where he sank it in, lost a bunch of track position, where if he had just drove like he would drive any other driver, he probably would have had the lead within 10 laps, because Ross Chastain, although he was the leader at that moment, did not have the car today. All right, let's look at your top 10. Kevin Harvick, Christopher Bell, Chris Buescher with a good run there. Threatened to win at times. Denny Hamlin recovers to a 4th place finish after some pit strategy. Chase Elliott, not his best track, but he gets a 5th. Continues his very strong season. Joey Logano 6th. Martin Truex, even though he finished in front of Blaney, lost points to him, but a good finish for Truex in 7th. A lot of people think he squandered this because this is his best chance to make up points. Eric Almirola 8th. Kyle Busch with his first top 10 in like a month in 9th. Ryan Blaney in 10th, and William Byron and Austin Cindric 11th and 12th. Now let's take a look at who had a bad race. Cole Custer qualified 7th, but they had some type of mechanical issue where the car was smoking and not doing what it was supposed to do. He finishes 26th because of that. Tyler Reddick was never really in the race. I don't know exactly what happened to him, but he finishes 31st. And Eric Jones gets caught up in the mess caused by the 42, the 1, and the 18. He finishes 35th. And Ty Gibbs was running top 15, but he ends up with a 36th after that mechanical problem. And, of course, if you look at the points, Martin Truex Jr. is 26 points. He lost some points to Ryan Blaney. But once again, I don't really think the points matter. With 2 more races and both of them being basically wild card races, I don't think either one of those guys can consider themselves safe, and I wouldn't be points racing if I was either one of them. But moving forward, Crash Gladys is reporting on Twitter that Texas Speedway might be getting a reconfigure. Well, that was a bit of a bomb drop. Kenny Sargent laying it out there. After next year, Texas Motor Speedway is set to blow up Reconfigure to help make the product better. Then he added that IndyCar may or may not be part of the picture moving forward too. Wait, what? So we will have to see what happens with that. Obviously, a lot of people are reporting that the new schedule hasn't come out because they have moved the All-Star race from Texas too. We'll have to wait till all the details emerge. I don't want to really talk about that out of school until it gets here. And the final piece of the puzzle here today is the 23 and the 17. Bubba Wallace and Chris Buescher were taken back to the NASCAR R and D Center for them to take a look at. As of yet, it is just that they have been taken back to the R and D Center. But if anything comes of that, I will let you know. And that is all I've got for you today. Like I said, just don't feel good. So if you made it this far, feel free to subscribe down below. I appreciate all of y'all. And if you got a comment or question, leave it down in the comments. I'll try to get to as many as I can. Thanks for your time. Peace. And before I jump off here, I forgot to mention that Kelly Lee, Epileptic Bumblebee, if you were wondering what a bologna burger looked like, she made some at her house, and these are them. So thank you very much for that. So now you know what a bologna burger looks like. That is the South Boston style with some cheddar cheese. All right, I'm out for real now.